Hi friends, hello and welcome back to my channel. It's been so long since I've made a YouTube video and I'm really excited to get back in my YouTube bag, although I do not make any bag from this. But I wanted to do I guess this would be considered a vlog of editing. I do not usually make writing content like this, and I'm really excited to do so. I think that a lot of times when I sit down to do something, it's so very sporadic, and I always try to schedule something, and then I always completely go against the schedule. And honestly, even now with what I'm about to do or hopefully do in this video, I'm still going off kilter and off schedule. But anyway, that being said, I never really have a strong foundation of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do next, what am I looking to complete in the coming days or weeks or months. So it's really hard to kind of conceptualize a video around that. And I feel like now is the time. I feel like this is a really good opportunity. So I'm really going to try really hard to get this video out to you guys. But what I'm working on is Desperately Depraved book 2 in the series. I'm so excited about it because you met some of these characters in book 1. And I feel like I'm going to surprise a lot of people with who they are because they're not who you think. But anyway, I started writing. Actually, I can set this down for a minute. I started writing this book last year, about May of last year. And I finished my first draft. I read through it. I sent it to my editor, and I love my editor so much. I love my editor so much because she is not afraid to tell me like it is. She's very kind. She's not, blunt in a way to hurt your feelings, but she will not it's not that she's not sugarcoating, it's just that she is not going to let you put something out that you could do better on. And I so appreciate her honesty. I sat on this book for maybe 6 or 7 months because the problems that she was pointing out to me were 100% valid. Once I saw them, I was like, oh my God, she's right. There is no getting around it. And I didn't know how to fix them. And this book taught me a very important lesson about waiting, about patience, because this book needed time, but also I needed time to grow as an author, because as I grew, I learned the ways to fix the problems. As I wrote other stories and problem solved other issues and other stories that I was writing, I learned how to problem solve in this book. And so now this year I was able to come back to it. I wrote 5 brand new chapters, changed the external conflict. There really wasn't much of an external conflict to begin with. So really, technically, I made an external conflict. And not that I overhauled who the characters were, but I needed a chance to get to know them better so that I could tell their story better. And after all of those months, I did know the characters better, and I could kind of decide in my mind, no, this person would not react this way. This person would react this way. So I really appreciate past me for giving me the opportunity to say, hey, let's just set this one down for a moment. It's not working right now. Hopefully we'll find a way to make it work later and you can come back to it. And so now, over a year later, I am finally done with my current draft. And so now I need to read through and edit before I give it back to my editor. So that is what this vlog is about. This is my planner. This is my notebook. And so Ashley, my author friend Ashley, you may have heard of her. She wrote Redeemed. She and I, this past July, I don't remember when we went to a book signing in Knoxville, and we made a weekend out of it, and we both bought planners. I think she bought a notebook as well. I can't remember. And we had made all of these beautiful plans about it's only going to take us 2 weeks to do this. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. That didn't work out. One of the books in here, the Phoenix book, I won't even be writing that till next year. Like, I don't know if I will have time to write it until next year. So as of right now, book 2, the book that I'm currently editing, that we're going to make a video about, is supposed to be with beta readers, according to this calendar. So we are very off. We are very, very off. But that's besides the point. I have learned a lot since then. So anyway, here's my new plan. So this book is 15 chapters with 2 epilogues, so technically 17 chapters. And I need to make 5 passes. So I have found that when I'm editing my own work, it's a lot easier for me to make one pass looking for these particular things, then make another pass looking for those particular things. If I try to edit all of the different things at one time, my brain gets jumbled, I get overwhelmed, I miss things, I skip over stuff and still have to go back and do it again because I'm like, I'm not ready to do that. So reading, for example, this is what we're starting today. Today's October 26th. And on this pass, I'm going to be looking at any comments that Miranda, my editor, left for me that I haven't gone through yet, making sure that the timeline works because, like I said, I added 5 extra chapters. And by the way, I wrote those 2 epilogues, so technically 7 chapters. So making sure that the timelines all work. And then I still have brackets. Sometimes people write brackets as a placeholder of like, I don't know what I'm going to write here, or like, I don't feel like writing the description of this. But sometimes and that's true for me too, but sometimes when I write brackets, it's that I'll have like 2 or 3 words that could all work. And I'm like, I'm not sure which word I want to pick here. Or, like I could say it this way, I could say it that way. I don't know which one, makes more sense for the flow of the paragraph. And that's a lot of what I have left when I'm looking at brackets. So that's easier because trying to like draft a description, like that's the drafting phase. I'm done with that. It's no more writing new words. I'm only fixing the words that are on the page. So thank goodness. So next week I'm going to be looking at, so I have two aliens in this book, and so they both have different magical abilities, and so I want to make sure that those magical abilities are clear so that when it comes up in the story you understand that those magic abilities are being used. In pass 3, I want to put more into my characters. So like I said, now that I have had time to get to know them more, I put more of their personality into the story in my draft. But now, like when I get there on pass 3, I'll be looking to where are some other opportunities, or where are there more opportunities for me to fine tune their personality and their character development. Pass 4 is going to be adding more schmink, and also just looking at those particular scenes with like a fine-tooth comb of like, how can I make this more, how can I make sure that the consent is not believable, but that like it's obvious, because sometimes people straight up ask for consent. Sometimes the consent is implied. And so I want to make sure that that's very clear. I do not write non-con. I will never write non-con. Now, maybe consensual non-consent, maybe. I probably won't, but I'm not going to say never. But I will never write non-con. But that's a tangent. Reel it back, reel it in. Anyway, my point is I'll be going through and looking at those pieces. And if there's also like not just particularly the spicy scenes, but also like the lead up to that, the chemistry between the characters. So actually, let me just make that a note of also, because I know it in my head, but I want it on paper to also look at chemistry. Okay, and then my final read through is just going to be a full read through for cohesiveness, and also making sure that the days line up, which is like something you would think I would have been figured out, but I'm like, no. As small of a detail as that is, that's not something that I can handle right now. I want to leave that for last and let that be the only thing I'm looking at, just to make sure, like, if I need to change something from instead of yesterday, maybe it's later today, to make sure, because all of this book happens within 1 week. So I just need to make sure that like as many times as I say the next day, the next morning, that like it lines up and it's still within a week. So those are my 5 passes and what I'll be looking for. So, like I said, we're gonna start. Well, I'll probably just show it on the screen. We're gonna go with pass 1, and I'm gonna be doing comments, fixing timelines, and any brackets. Let's go for it. So, past me actually did me another solid. I'm actually on chapter 6. I already edited, or like as far as this pass, I've already edited chapters 1 through 5. So that makes life just a little easier. So now I have 12 chapters to go through. I'm starting on chapter 6, and I'm a little like my tummy's already doing this. It's like, babe, please calm down. You have a whole week to do this. I only have to do 2 chapters a day, and I get a day break. If I just do 2 chapters a day, I can be done by Friday, or I can take a break within the week and be done by Saturday. So, see, that makes things a little easier. I just need to do chapters 6 and 7 right now. So, let's do it. I just finished chapter 6, and I'm really proud of what I've got going here. In this chapter, the alien, or alien, parentheses, S parentheses, I'm trying to give as much, like, I'm trying to allow for as much suspense as possible, but it's like, I have to talk to you about this in order to, like, for it to make sense what I'm doing. But the human has learned that aliens exist. Let me just put it that way. And in the first draft, this chapter led to a spicy scene. And I realized that for this book, the spice needs to wait. We cannot immediately. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Mine to Claim might be the quickest I get into. I mean, it's uncontacted in that book, so it's not really saying much, but I guess when I was writing the first draft, I was thinking like, you know, the not endorphins, maybe endorphins, like the energy is high, the mating is high, like, you know, they're seeing each other and like, boom. And it's like, yeah, but that's not how I want it to be portrayed in every book. Like, people are different. And some people, even though they feel a connection, they still may need time to like, they need their time for their brain to catch up with their body in order for them to feel comfortable doing an action. And I think that's where this book is at. So anyway, whereas this chapter led into a spice scene before, it now ends with everybody just comfortably falling asleep, and they have a date in the next chapter. So that's what I'm going to work on now. Oh my goodness. I just finished chapter 7, and why is my stomach like flip-flopping? My characters are so cute. So, I think that if I'm going to like give details about what I'm doing, maybe I should actually make this a weekly video and not the full 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Like, maybe I'll do a video per week is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, it's 5 weeks. So I will come back tomorrow. I'm trying to think, should tomorrow be my break day? No, let's have Wednesday be my break day. I'm gonna come back tomorrow and do chapters 8 and 9. Although I feel like I could just keep going. I just don't want to like overwhelm myself. Chapter 7 was a pretty long chapter. It's one of the longest chapters in this book. So I'm going to call it quits, even though like they're so cute. Oh my God, they're so adorable. I'm so excited. I want to send this to okay, let me back you up. Oh, I just hit something. Okay, it wasn't a big deal. When I had written the first draft, last year, and you know, like I still went through it, read through it or whatever, and I sent it to my alpha readers. They gave me some positive feedback, but I feel like it would be interesting if I send this new draft to them again, because it's been over a year, so hopefully they've kind of like forgotten and maybe they can read it for the first time again, and especially like with all the changes, those would be new. But you know, your alpha readers are supposed to, you know, be like that fresh, you know, they don't know what's going on, and so hopefully they won't remember too much from last year. But when I'm reading, I keep thinking like, oh, what is so and so gonna think about this, and oh, are they gonna find that funny? And you know, like, I'm so excited, I'm so happy I waited, because I really appreciate the feeling that I feel right now. I did not feel that way about this book last year at all. And so I'm so grateful, excuse me, to be able to feel the way I feel right now about this book. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to do some Pinterest pulls for a different book that I may or may not write. I don't know. I haven't gotten a deadline yet for this particular anthology. And so if the deadline moves, right now the deadline is December. It's the last week in October. I write very slow. There's no way that, and it has to be edited. It has to be edited already and turned in by the end of December. There's no way I can make that work. So I'm waiting to hear if the deadline is going to change, because it might. If it changes, then I will be writing a monster rivals to lovers romance. It might be hockey, it might be soccer, I'm not sure which one, but there will be a locker room scene between they, them, and Zir, them. So I'm very excited. That's all I really want to say about it right now. If the words, hold on, if the deadline doesn't change, I will still end up writing the story. It'll just be farther, like later on, like maybe the year after next. But like now that I have the story envisioned in my brain, it has to happen. I'm going to write it, but it's just a matter of, is it going to be coming up next, or is it something that's going to wait about a year and a half until it gets written? So I'm going to pull some Pinterest pictures for that and keep working till about 7 o'clock. It's 6:23 right now, and I will see you tomorrow. Hello friends, it's 8 o'clock at night and it's time for me to edit, but first I have to show you something. Dun, 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 dun. That's my book. I have a t-shirt. This is so cool. I'm so excited. This just came in the mail today. It smells a little funky, so I need to wash it first. But my mom and my sister are starting a t-shirt business, and I'm getting like my own line, I think is the correct way to say things. So they like let me have like artistic freedom over how I wanted to design my shirts. And so I'm so excited about this. I will probably wear it for the next signing in November. Like, I'm so excited. So anyway, now with that little news out of the way, I'm gonna scoot my laptop that you're sitting on. I'm gonna scoot this over. What am I working on? You probably know because you just saw it seconds ago. Chapter 8 and 9, 7 and 8, something like that. I don't know. Yes, chapter 8. This is FMC point of view. Okay, so this one, it's a dinner date. Okay, so this chapter is a dinner date. And I'm just going to be going through, like I said yesterday, with those 3 points, combing through things, and we'll see how it goes. I'll give you an update. So for chapter 8, a lot of what I already had was pretty much the same. In the first draft, they were already mates, which means they could feel each other's emotions, and right now they're not mated. they're not mated yet. So it was just mostly changing, like, whereas they could understand each other without having to explain. Now I need to put those explanations in. Now, instead of saying, like, I know they're scared, it's they seem scared, just kind of making sure that it's consistent throughout. It was not too long of a chapter and it was pretty easy, but the next one, chapter 9, is a spicy scene. I love to read them. I hate to write them. I hate writing them. It's so difficult. If it wasn't so difficult, I wouldn't hate it so much. But it's so difficult. It's so difficult. Oh my goodness. And I'm not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to it. But should I take a break? Not me for trying to procrastinate. I'm like, I could crochet and watch a YouTube video, but like, no, I want to get it done. I want to get it done. Let's get it done. Let's get it done. I have officially confused myself. They're like, he's instructing her on what to do. And I have this sentence that says, I always thought that when I touched myself at night, that it was a punishment for doing so. And I get where I was coming from in general, because there's some like purity culture mindset here. I don't know why it's so hard for me to talk. I think I'm just in the middle of me talking to you. I'm still trying to like work out, what did I mean? What was I talking about? I have no clue. I truly have no clue. I don't, like, I understand in general like why she would say a sentence like this, because purity culture, but in the context of what's happening right now, I don't understand why I wrote the sentence here. And yes, I could just delete it, but I'm like, if there was a meaning behind it that I can figure out, then I can try to fix the sentence so that the meaning is clear. And just like, what did I do that? Like, what was that? Okay, well, I gotta stop. Hold on. Confession, I still have no idea what I meant before, but I did find a new meaning. I made a new meaning from this sentence, so we are moving on. All right, after that small tragedy, the rest of the chapter went pretty smoothly. I don't know. I always second guess my spicy scenes, but I feel like it's good enough for now. Now, I did realize that I have Friday off this week. I'm very excited about that. So I'm wondering if I can do maybe not 2 chapters, but at least one more, and then tomorrow maybe do 3, and I can be done with this by Thursday. That would be really nice. So now that I've at least done my goal for today, I'm gonna crochet a little bit, watch a YouTube video, and then either I'll come back, like I've taken a break, I'm ready to get back in, or you'll see me tomorrow. So, we'll see.
The sense of where your story's going, even for a pantser, I think, but of course, when it's a short, really intense writing challenge, you want to either to go next in the story. But when you're trying to write really quickly, you kind of need to be like, okay, and now we're going to the next.
It is the next day, and before I say anything else, I realized that I've been wearing the exact same color. Like, I've been wearing a black shirt every single clip in this video. My hair has been up. I promise. I take showers. I look like a main character. I used to work very short chasing of a rabbit. I used to work at a gym at the front desk, and I did not have like it was so hard because like you want to look cute at the front desk, but then like you're also like cleaning and stuff and you don't want to get your cute clothes dirty. So I ended up buying like 6 of the same exact shirt from JCPenney, and I think like 4 or 5 of the exact same pants. And so I just wore the same thing to work every single day. I couldn't care less about like fashion or whatever. And so now I don't work there anymore, but like I have those same shirts. So anyway, I just realized I was like, this is the 3rd day in this video and I'm wearing the exact same thing. Okay, but so as you probably saw, I probably put that clip in. I did 4 chapters today. I did 4 chapters today. I'm very proud of myself. These were the chapters where that new external conflict is. Excuse my cats in the back. It's the new external conflict. It's them kind of like remediating. That word doesn't get used that way, but you know what I mean. But like remediating the conflict, solving the conflict, or at least talking it out. We'll say they're talking it out. And then they now decide to make their mating official. That is the end of chapter 13. So let's see, I have chapter 14 and 15 and then 2 epilogues. 14 is a little bit of a spicy scene. They're at a concert. And then I'm just scrolling down. 15 is the full mating. So, and then we've got 2 epilogues. So today's Tuesday. I can do 2 chapters on Wednesday, 2 chapters on Thursday, and have Friday off. Or what I might try to do, since I did 4 chapters today, I might be able to do 4 chapters tomorrow and then be done super duper early. We don't have school on Friday, so I might do a different type of video. That would be fun. So yeah, I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm gonna stop talking and I will see you tomorrow. All right, my friends, it is the next day. It's Wednesday. I am currently breaking in my new boots, and I have decided that for my Thursday half day and my Friday off day, I think I want to film a reading vlog. I'll either be reading the arc I got, All Superheroes Need Photo Ops, or I'll be reading Next to You. Oh, sorry. This one is by Elizabeth Stevens, and then Next to You by Hannah Bonham Young. I might read both. But definitely one of these 2. So that means I want to get these 4 chapters done today. I have some time in between meetings and things for work. So I'm going to take my lunch break right now. And I want to at least get through 2 of the chapters now. And if I can get through all 4 of them, that'd be great. But at least 2, and then I can do the other 2, the epilogue 1 and 2 later today. So wish me luck. Oh my god, I finished it. I finished this run through. I get to check it off. Hold on. I get to check it off in my planner now. I'm so excited. It's so wild because like every time I make some sort of progress, I'm like, oh, it felt like that was never gonna happen. Oh, it felt like I was never gonna get there. And like every single thing I do with this book, it feels like that. And so I just really want to celebrate for myself the fact that I finished it. I get to scribble that out, scribble that out, scribble that out. We're done. I'm so excited. So I'm going to end this video here. Oh, I do want to give you an update though. So I didn't have too hard of a time with the brackets, but there is like a paragraph for like the big kiss. Did they kiss before? I think they did, but it wasn't like, this is when the official mating is happening. So this kiss is a big moment, and I do need to rework that. So I made a note in there because if you remember from the beginning of the video, I'm going to go through chemistry notes in pass number 4. So I made a note for myself that when I do pass 4, I need to rework that, like almost delete all of it and start over. But it's okay. It's just one paragraph. And when I was working on the dragon on Wallaby Drive, Benedict and Paloma, I bought a book on like intimacy and eroticism or something like that. And I looked up several YouTube videos. I looked up several like author articles and blogs and things about like how to write a kissing scene, because I felt like I felt like I was at such a loss of what to do, and I learned a lot. So I'm gonna go, when I do pass 4, I'm gonna go back through those notes that I took a few months ago, reread those things, and then tackle that kissing scene. So other than that, I got through everything else pretty easily. So now there are no more brackets unless there's a note for Miranda. And I did write quite a few. I did write quite a few notes for Miranda, like over the course of this pass through, over the course of the last few days. Just because, again, like there are several chapters that she has not read yet that are brand spanking new. So, yes, but overall, I'm very happy with my progress. I'm very happy with this read through. I'm very happy with where my book is right now. And so with that official update, I am going to leave you. Thank you for watching. I hope this was informative or helpful. If you have any questions about my writing process, or like, I don't know everything, but if you want my opinion on something, or if you would like some advice, I'd be happy to give it to you. Let me know. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a great day, and bye.